The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Join the entire crew every Tuesday at 7 p.m. as they bring their takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and news on the #1 fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Visit them at facebook.com/WrestleTalkPodcast and at WrestleTalkCast on YouTube and X.
All of us here show appreciation and love to our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation as well as protect and serve us every day. Thank you for all you do.
Get ready for episode number 165 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, as we sit down with our featured guests, recapping their last match from the ACW Super Show, and reliving some of the most special moments in their 35-year professional wrestling career. Abe and Gabe, the Lumberjacks.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And good evening, everybody. We're live and in living color, everybody. We are here yet again on another Sunday night. And we are having a lot of fun here. It's a little bit of a late start. Tech Gremlins got us again, but we took a little effort to knock them out, but we're up and going live. And we're on episode number 165 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. And hopefully people were able to hear me. I guess since we're on, at least I was live on stage. I forgot to hit a switch, so hopefully we're all good now. But of course, Rough Cut Rick Ruby here on the left, and to the right, the Jump Seat Mouse Zmiz. Wearing brown, I got a darker brown. You're wearing, I don't know, is that a brown? That almost looks
Mine's
like
a red, bro. It's like a burgundy red. It's one of my favorites, man. This is my favorite time of year. So, like, I'm a big fall guy, and like getting out like the loose, long sleeve shirts, and I still wear shorts. I wear shorts all year round. But
yeah, I look at that and I just see like clay red, clay pot red. Just
I'm just your burly hippie. That's it.
It's whatever. It's whatever. If you're watching the show right now, make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing that show right now, as we're going to get a lot of we're going to have a good number of viewers coming in here. And thanks to the Gremlins, we didn't really have time to conversate much, but it's going to be okay because we're going to go right into our featured guest of the evening. And man, after a long night, and I could just go on and on about a long night. It was a good night. It was a long night, long treacherous night for a lot of us, but a memorable night, especially for these two gentlemen that are coming up right now. Over 35 years in the business, and last night was the cap of a long career at the ACW Super Show, winning one last tag championship for ACW before riding off of the sunset last night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest at this time. They are none other than Abe and Gabe, the Lumberjacks. Everybody, put those hands together. If I can find a crowd of applause. Yes, indeed. Guys, how you doing, man? Sorry about the gremlins getting you, but at least we're on live and we're here right now. So how you guys doing?
We're doing okay, man.
Oh, good.
A little sore, but
oh man, yeah, I'll tell you what.
Looked like it was a good night last night. The whole show was good.
I almost feel that's like the longest show in history that ACW has ever had, and it was longer than an AEW.
I think so.
So we almost went 0 hour. Yeah,
but it was the Super Show.
Yeah, 2 rings, Gauntlet of Glory. Like I said, we can even get into that later. As far as that was quite a match itself, and what a packed house we had. At least about 375 people, from what I could tell, what's on there. So yeah, man, just a big house in Saint Clair, and every time that the Lumberjacks show up in Saint Clair, you know you're guaranteed to have a packed house. So, but man, bear with me here because I've been trying to get a lot of things together, man. My night did not end till I didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning, and there's other circumstances.
Yeah, that's about the time we got home too.
Yeah, I had to do an early leave and actually had to get my kid from high school that was coming home from the Gem City yesterday in Quincy, Illinois. And actually, our high school basically just whooped everybody's ass, whoever came in for 3 states, and took the grand championship and overall other field performance. Yeah, so
hey, congrats, man. Good,
yeah.
Congrats.
So so proud dad moment here because I'm a Pattonville alum, and I think it's probably like the best marching band we've ever had in history, and this director's first year too. So anyway, and they also got to see the University of Iowa marching band, which my God, they are spectacular. I mean, real quick before I did you actually hear some fireworks last night, Z, by chance?
No. So where the stadium is in Quincy, it's on like the east north side of town, and I'm on the deep south of Quincy.
Oh, you're on the south side here.
Yeah.
You in the hood? Okay. So
close.
Close. Oh man. So guys, like I said, I targeted these questions for you guys to each answer because I know you guys probably are not going to have the same answer, and if so, that's kind of cool too. But first, I want to start off here. Of course, you guys decided to come back before ACW kicked back off in the spring of 2021 after that whole pandemic mess, whatever that was. And then, we were still dealing with it, but we decided to come back anyway. But you came back to American Championship Wrestling, and of course, when you made your return, you came back when you came to Saint Clair. And of course, you faced the Night Stalkers that night, which was a pretty tough opponent, with Brujo and Scar. But out of that, from the teams that you faced, which teams gave you a good run for your money while you were in ACW during this run?
I think the Russians.
Yeah, I'd say the KGB did.
Yeah, the KGB. It was a long feud with them.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
a long time.
Yeah, it did go a long time. It did go for a while before they got ran out, and they even invaded your training center at the time.
Yeah.
We boxed them up and shipped their asses back.
Yeah, remember they came in and blindsided us with crowbars.
Yeah,
on our own property.
But Rick, we had some tie-ins with you guys too.
Oh yeah, I had several opponents too. Yeah, let's see, it was me with let's see, earlier in the year with Zero Tolerance, and with Saber Frost. I don't know. It's just I've been finding my ways to play a little dirty these days. It is what it is. Sometimes it's that competition that gets in.
Exactly.
But it was nice working everybody. It was a good time and a lot of good hard matches working everybody.
Yeah, but something about that Holy Trinity Lutheran Church venue. I mean, because that's the night, because that's the same venue you shipped off to KGB as well.
Yeah. Put them on that low boy trailer and ship their asses back.
I know. It's like we haven't seen nothing back. And it's kind of funny too, because one of my kids' shirts that they wore just around the house is still they wear like some wrestling shirts, and one of them is the KGB sucks shirt that they still wear around.
Yeah.
I remember that night when we we drugged the Russians out of the building to throw them in that box, and a ton of fans came out that door chanting "Bye bye Russians."
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, I remember them KGB shirts.
Yeah, no, I could have swore that that some of the fans were going to run after the truck to make sure they actually left town, because they were going like halfway up the parking
Yeah,
lot.
they were just coming up the road.
Yeah, they follow them up the street up there next to the road.
I'm like, man, you guys are nuts. I was like, truck, you better pick up some speed, or else you're going to have somebody following you. Yes, that was, yeah, like I said, that was a mad night, and that was, yeah, I know that. Gosh,
that was another big night. That was another big night for ACW.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and just to think about it, that you two have had the greatest impact of being in Saint Clair. You know, I mean, you know, when you return, I mean, when you guys decided to make your return, you made your, you know, once we announced the show, you went out, you visited every business possible, everybody that you knew possible, say, hey, we're coming back, you know, and da 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 da. And ironically, that night I think it's probably the largest crowd that ACW has had, and literally because it was at the outside of the Elks, and they had brought in bleachers for those who don't know the whole venue. Because you, even with somewhere outside, you got to have a place to sit, you would think. So I think they even still had standing room only, and I think they took in 600 people for that show. That night.
That was the Elks down there. That was when we did the Elks.
I remember the count that night. I talked to say it was 625 was the actual figure count they had. That
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, we've always did that almost every place we went. That's what was, I don't know. I told my brother that last night ago. We always had a good draw. I guess it was our the characters we were playing, but we always, through the whole 35 years, we always had a good draw of people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, and it's just obviously where it's, yeah, like I said, it's a legit count that where you guys were there when you returned, and you know, and just knowing that, you know, where obviously it's from your hometown, so you know, and for many years that you've been and you went and wrestled, because I mean, you've even held titles that are out in promotions out in Vegas, out in other states. Yeah. I mean, we're talking Z. We're talking to 3-time Hall of Famers, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So just on a quick history of that, yeah. So they were inducted into the Missouri Wrestling Hall of Fame back in 2004, into the St. Louis Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2020, and then a year later into the Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2021. So 3-time Hall of Famers, and a lot of championship accolades to go along with it. So, like I said, a long storied career for the Lumberjacks, as you know, as they went throughout the years, and I'm sure they've been in the ring with numerous names here. Yep. You tell him, boy. You tell him.
So as Doug gets furious, let's talk about that. And one of the things I enjoy about professional wrestling is the feather in the cap moments. You know, the matches that, like, I just watched one the other day with Bret Hart sitting down talking about how Stone Cold and him at WrestleMania 13 were like that was the match for him. Like, that was one of the match. What is one of those toughest matches that just felt so right, kind of was the feather in your cap during your guys' luscious career?
What do you think, Al?
I think the toughest we've had was down there we did a show in Arkansas against the original Moondogs, and they beat us with trash cans. That was probably our toughest because I never got beat so hard with trash cans in the pot.
Yeah, that was with Galaxy Championship Wrestling run by Luke Graham Jr.
Yeah, they threw powder in our face and beat us down with trash cans. But we pulled it off and got the win, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Them guys, when we got back to the locker room, that's the way we did it in the old days, boys. With the trash cans, the lids, everything.
Yeah.
Those guys were tough, but they were cool.
Yeah. If you're looking for a technical 5-star Dave Meltzer grade, you're not going to get it with those 4 guys in the ring with the Moondogs and the Lumberjacks. So
that night they had everybody on the card, and it was Little Rock, Arkansas at their expo center. They had us, they had Prince Iakea, the Moondogs, Greg Valentine. They had just a whole bunch of them guys down there.
Man, unreal. Yeah, I've been down to Little Rock before. There was North Little Rock, though, I think it was at. But yeah, my sentiments exactly, Tim.
It was at Robinson Expo Center.
Robinson.
Kind of like your Chaffetz Arena down there.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is because mine was an outdoor show, but I had about 3,000 in attendance at that venue. They brought in some, they were trying to do a big to-do there. And
that's cool, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So North Little Rock, I mean, that's the largest crowd I've wrestled in front of is like 3,000, I believe. So, in a big amphitheater. So that was pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I mean, toughest victory, I would have to say Moondogs. Yeah, I totally agree because those guys.
Yeah. They don't cut you no slack. They didn't cut you no slack.
Oh heck no, I totally get that. So when you talk about tough, I mean sometimes, even when you go to a show, sometimes not just the competition is tough with the wrestlers or anybody that you face. Hopefully, because it's just kind of a trusting business, if you know what I mean. But can either one of you recall either like one of the most frightening or rowdiest moments that you've had to experience during one of the shows that you were on?
Yeah, we did a show up in Salem, Missouri, and it was several years back. And talking about you got to trust your opponent and all that. And he came off trying to first.
They said they did it before. Oh, we practiced the move before.
Well, he dropped. He flipped off top rope and elbowed me in my Adam's apple and pushed my Adam's apple in, and I was choking. I was choking in the middle of the ring, and they stopped the match, and they got the paramedics in there, and they told me to just relax, and my Adam's apple popped back out, and everything was cool.
It was actually Carl Lauer jumped in the ring and held his head straight because we thought it hit him so hard it might have really broke his neck, but Carl was holding his head until he got some wind back in him.
Well, the paramedics said your Adam's apple, if you relax, it'll pop back out. Well, it popped back out.
But they said, well, we only practiced it once.
Yeah.
And that was up in Ozark Championship run by Chuck Wilcox.
Chuck, what? So
yeah.
One of his guys?
Yeah.
2 of his guys were a tag team.
I think he was called the Mad Hatter or something like that.
And one was Showtime, and another one was Mad Hatter or GQ Smooth or something, I think. It was one of them.
That shit happens.
And he practiced it once.
What is that? This is going nuts over here. So, yes, Zmiz, I could say that these guys are actually legit. GQ Smooth and the Mad Hatter.
Showtime. Shane Summers was one of them.
Yeah, so,
I guess you guys heard of them.
Oh gosh, yeah, because me and an old partner of mine, going back in 2000, we faced Showtime and I think it was like Gunny Marvelous or something like that. They were like the LA Connection, and their finishing move um, was giving me like a leg drop from like a side slam. You know, where I think one of them came off like the second rope, and they were going to come down simultaneously, give me a leg drop. Well, Showtime didn't even he didn't put me off far enough from the corner. This guy's jumping on me, and when he lands, his ass lands right on my chest. So he leg dropped nothing. He didn't leg drop my neck. His ass lands right on my chest, and I'm sitting here trying to catch wind. And
see, that's kind of what they did to me. They didn't put me out far enough, and they come all bound up, and he come right down on it, boy.
No, it's probably
it was a mess.
I'm sorry.
It was a mess.
Probably the same ass clowns that freaking did me wrong. So who knows?
Yeah.
And they thought they knew it all too. Oh,
they practiced once, man. Come on, don't you know?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah, it was the night before. They practiced it the night before.
Dude, I don't care if this gets me in water, but if you have the name GQ Smooth, you only need to practice once.
Yeah, practice a little bit more before you do it on somebody.
You probably whipped his ass. You whipped his ass.
Oh, we went out in the back alley back there, and I wasn't the happiest camper.
Yeah, we had discussions.
We had discussions.
Practice
like
yourself,
Carl R was like, "What the fuck did them guys do?" You know,
they almost killed my ass. What do you think they did?
I didn't even know you could.
Yeah, Carl seen what happened, and he slid right in there, man.
But the weirdest thing about it, the only time I actually broke a bone or everything was in a practice ring in the back of South Broadway down there. They broke my thumb and my ankle down there at Broadway. That was just really never happened in the ring. It all happened outside.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. Yeah.
Do you remember the old Wave Spies?
Oh,
remember them guys? Wave Spies.
No.
They used to be down there in Broadway all the time.
No.
They used to spray tan they spray tan themselves all the time.
Before the match, they would do the tan in a can.
Yeah.
And they had runs down their back and everything. But they were the Wave Spies.
And we didn't mean Andy did a match with them guys. And that guy got outside the ring. He kicked me in the balls like 3 fucking times. And then he expected me to do the rest of the match with him. I got so pissed off. And we actually got out and go, "You want to play that way, motherfucker?" So we just went back at it, and I hammered down on him after that.
Oh my god!
The Wave Spies and GQ Smooth. God,
ain't that a combination?
Yeah, they had a little fan upstairs, and they were taking cans of this tan stuff and spraying themselves with it. And they had runs down their back and everything. They were trying to dry it with a fan.
That's worse than baby oil, but
them were the good old days right there.
Oh my god!
So speaking of those good old days, you guys being brothers and all, getting to ride up and down the roads with each other, having all these trips. You guys take this last trip to Saint Clair for the farewell show, the Super Show. Was it a normal car ride, or were you guys reminiscing about old days like we are today, having a good laughs at what was or what could have been? Or was it just a genuine, like, let's go whip ass for one last time and call it a day?
Whip ass one last time. Actually, the long car ride was 9 miles down the road.
Yeah. But you know what? We did for about a week leading up to that. We actually brought up some old memories because we met a lot of good people and we met a lot of bad people, but more good than bad. But yeah, it's only 9 miles of damn street, so we couldn't think about it too much.
So what about some of those memories that you guys talked about? Like, can you shed light on one of those great memories that you guys had being a brother duo? We see so many great brother duos in the industry. Like, let's hear that aspect of the wrestling world.
Oh, we both I mean, we both think alike and can feel each other out in the ring what's going to happen, and it just seems to work out great when we're out there. I mean, we had great times working other guys and stuff, and just
the fans really enjoy the characters that we bring out. For some reason, they always did. And one of the funnest matches was the Vegas show. We got down with the Cauliflower Alley show, and we went across town. And the guy was running the show right next to a strip bar out there. It was a strip tease bar.
Yeehaw.
And he was running a Sunday matinee show. And we walked in there. He had all that fake, it looked like stone walls and everything. But that was pretty cool. I mean, there were different guys we never met, but everybody was coming in for the wrestling convention. And it was pretty cool. And we enjoyed it quite a bit.
See, back then when we went to the Cauliflower Alley, there was a couple promoters out there that would get guys from the shows. Well, during Carl Lauer, he goes, "You guys need to use the Lumberjacks over here." And so it was the BWF. And we ended up being their champions and everything out there. And we came out a couple times and did other shows with them. And actually, he got murdered by the mob that had a strip club next to him, the promoter.
Yeah, it was on
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
They got like 5 seconds of our match on Unsolved Mysteries when they were doing his murder.
Yeah, he got killed by the mob out there.
Holy cow. That's a story.
I don't know if I ever heard that one before. Holy crap. That's
yeah. You go back in the archives and Unsolved Mysteries, and he's on there. What was it? Buffalo Jim.
Buffalo Jim Bailey.
Buffalo Jim Bailey.
You look up wrestling promoter murdered in Las Vegas.
And they'll be on there.
And you'll see like a 5-second clip of us. And that was back when we wore the old checkered shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of nice that I know about this after the fact. I was down in Vegas this past year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even near the time that the show happened. So, oh gosh. Well, everything was all in one place anyway. So that's no.
There's that, like I said, like we told you before, that one time we were in Arkansas that the one guy booked us a hotel room and we pulled up there and there was a tape drawing of a body because they just had a shooting there the night before.
Yeah, I go, we ain't staying there.
We ain't staying here, man.
It's lovely when they put you in places over the years. They really put you in top quality places.
That was Rose City, Arkansas. That happened then.
A lot of shenanigans
in
Arkansas.
Yeah, and right there, Arkansas. That should tell you all
about it. Yeah. Our room was right next to where the tape drawing was.
I know.
Where the tape was on the ground. We ain't doing that, man.
It's safe.
Yeah. It wasn't safe for that motherfucker.
The next door over was the tape where the guy was lying.
Like, hey, at least they're accommodating. At least they didn't put you in the room for where the guy was laying.
Yeah, well, actually, we ended up going down by the airport to the Holiday Inn down there. They had it real nice, and that's where a lot of the guys stayed.
The one thing we were talking about Saturday during the day was all the different people we've did shows with. You kind of reminisce about it, and going back that many years, some I already forgot about, but most of the time we had good matches with good people, and it's just if you ain't in the business, you don't know about this, you make a lot of friends through it, you meet a lot of people, and it kind of floods back on you when you get close to saying, I'm done with it now. So that's what we're kind of doing the last week or so.
Yeah, there's so many solid workers out there that do great jobs in the ring.
We've always preached, if you get a chance, go watch all the independent shows, no matter who they are. Get out there because the guys bust their butts for it. So we've always preached that the whole time we did it. Get out there, no matter who it is, and go see these shows because these guys, I hate to say, a lot of time they don't make shit. So go out there and support them. And
a lot of guys killed themselves out in that ring Rube knows that. Guys kill themselves in the ring for this business.
Yeah.
We try to give them something that they don't see on TV and that they used to see back in the day. At least that's what I would like to kind of do that. But
last night's show went off big. It went off really good.
Yeah, I think every match was great on it. It just it's done now, and it's something we'll always remember. And we appreciate ACW. We told Pat, the promoter out there, we thanked him for letting us be with him guys for the last couple of years, and
we're gonna do some behind the scene work, help out in the locker room, help out at the training center, just where we can. Just won't be on that active in ring duty. Maybe do a little ref once in a while.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, so I mean, I can't really imagine the transition as yet. And I was actually trying to place myself in your guys' shoes, at least in that aspect, because, and I couldn't get far because I couldn't think about it yet. So obviously that means that I still got something left to still doing this business. I mean, heck, I hope at least a couple years, at least, maybe not more, but we'll see. But knowing that you were behind the curtain last night, getting ready to come out for your last match, so kind of take us through your thoughts when you're behind the curtain, when you go out, you're greeting the fans, you're getting ready to step in the ring for the last time to face the Silver Bullets and wrestle your last match. What were some of your thoughts that were coming down? Some of the emotions, or anything else that was running through your mind before that opening bell was started for your last match?
This is it, man. Let's go out and make it a hell of a night and pull it off for these people out here. These people all came to see us. Let's pull a good one off for them and make it work.
Basically, that's about it. We wanted to do a good show, and we always did it before. I did it all the time. You can be laughing behind stage, and that all of a sudden time you walk that curtain, you just flip your head around and you turn into a whole nother person. And actually, we went out and did like we always did. But yeah, it was cool. But like you said, you never get it out of your system. So I'm saying we're never going to get it out of our system. But it's going to be nice not to wake up super sore the next morning and all that shit either.
I got he's got a shoulder problem. I got an ankle and knee problem. And when it starts affecting your real life job, you got to go thinking on it,
Right. Yeah, exactly. If it's got something that you want to enjoy and something that you're going to be able to, carry on your regular everyday life. If it's going to put you back in your everyday life, then it's either, you kind of evaluate your situation. Do you step away and maybe come back after rehab, or do you just want to just step away, just get better and just stay that way? So, I mean, like I said, 35, 36 years in the ring is just, something to, a lot of guys that are coming to this business can't say that. So,
yeah.
And of course, actually put up the resume that you guys have put up over this time that you've been in the square circle. So, so Z's got one more question for you. Then I've got one more question for you, and then so I mean, I know we got to cut your time a little short tonight because of our gremlins, and I know Alan's got you guys got some commitments that are early in the morning.
Days.
Yep. Trust me, I know about early days itself. So I'm going to let Z go and take the next question for you.
Okay, cool.
So, what's going to be one of the major aspects of like not competing in the square circle that you're going to miss the most?
Being in front of the fans.
Yeah, I really don't know how it's going to be when we go watch another show, and when you do it. You always sit there and go, man, maybe one more time in there. I think I could do it better, And that's probably what it's going to be for a while. You always got that itch, and it's going to be hard to scratch it. But you know when you know it's time, and I think it's time.
We loved entertaining, and we loved being out there with the fans. It was great entertaining and then interacting with the people after the matches, and it'll be missed.
Yeah.
Is there something you want to say to either the fans or even younger guys coming up in the locker rooms on something, just a last?
We were always told when you get your booker books you, this is to the young guys, just go do exactly what he tells you to do, and you get your pay. You do what you're told to do, and take advice. That's what the veterans are there for. They ain't there to ruin it for you, because everybody wants the same thing, to have a good show. So nobody's going to steer you wrong. Maybe some guys will, but that ain't the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to help everybody out. And with the young guys, just listen to people. And it ain't all bed of roses out there on the road traveling around. You ain't going to get rich unless you hit it right. But just listen to people.
Yeah, we walked in. I remember when we first went up to Broadway, and Tony Costa and the Giant Assassin was giving their little speech, and that was before we even stepped in the ring. It was, Joe the Assassin, stay quiet, do what you're told, and do whatever's best for the show.
That's exactly right.
And that's what got us booked so much over the years.
You do what's best for the show.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to. You got to. And that's what it doesn't matter if these guys today or whenever, when we were doing it in generations before, you gotta train yourself. Obviously, you gotta get trained to make sure you know what to do in the ring. But like I said, anything for the show, you got to do what's good for the good of the show. People who do go into business for themselves do not have a long career, because that gets around, especially today's technology. If something's heard of, that it can get on the internet or anything else of that nature, of like a video clip of the activity. People see that, you might as well just sell your gear, because no one's going to want to book you if you do something.
Rube, I never thought of it that way. You're exactly right, though. You're exactly right. I never thought of it that way.
That's right. I mean, you truly have to lead by example when it comes to being inside, being part of the show, and like I said, it's sure, would it be great to get an accolade? Great, but you just have to, you have to understand from the promoter standpoint. I mean, are you somebody that's going to draw people into this to keep people around? Are you good enough to be in the spot that what you're asking for? That's what you have to ask yourself. And there's always room for improvement, no matter how long you've been in this business. There's always room for improvement. So,
too, never think you know enough. There's always something you can watch another match. There's always something that you're picking up and learning from watching these guys too.
Absolutely.
But, like ACW, there's some young up and comers in that in that group of guys at ACW. Look at Justin, look at Pyro. Them guys really pulled it off last night, and young guys.
Yep, and if it wasn't for gracious Justin, Pyro would would not have a job. So
yeah, he would have been out of work.
Yeah,
and we had that $50 bet too on him too.
Yeah, so I had to pay $50. So.
If Justin won, he would buy Justin a steak dinner. It was a $50 bet. If Pyro won, I took Pyro to Taco Bell and bought him $50 worth of tacos.
Big spender there, big spender.
Hey, but you probably get more for your money. You just never know.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know, I guess.
But those two guys really pulled it off last night, and even that battle royal was good. The Gauntlet of Death thing was great.
Yeah, that Gauntlet of Glory, that was pretty tough. And getting over, there was some people, including myself, that had to transition from that upper ring to the lower ring, and I think somebody got the actually one of the guys got their foot caught, if I understood that right. And that's
what was it? Was it Ruben? It was like almost a 2-foot drop. So
because when we threw one of the silver bullets into that other ring, he bounced on the other ring rope into the ring, and that's where I shot down there and got him. And we both looked at each other, and we both gave him finishers in the ring.
Yeah. I saw that last night, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, somebody went flying!" Somebody went flying.
We heaved him in there. We each grabbed the side of him and shot the silver bullet over there.
Yeah.
Hey.
The confetti cannons were cool.
It's nice to look at for about less than a minute, but then you got like the hour cleanup after that.
Yeah. And then throwing those streamers, he got hit in the head with a streamer.
My nephew threw it. And I go, somebody busted me in the head with one of them streamers. Oh, it was me, Uncle Alan.
He threw one of them rolls, and then rolls hit him in the head.
I go, I'll never get him another ticket to come to the show.
My God, that's so. So as we're wrapping up here, I know you guys say you're going to need to go here shortly. You're talking about maybe possibly coming back in a different type of capacity here, and I know you're going to take a break or whatever. But is there any preferred capacity that maybe even to like even with ACW or anybody else? Like, is there like any certain role you like to come back? Maybe like as co-commissioners, to kind of help make.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think
we were talked to about the commissioner thing and doing some special referee with ACW.
That sounds pretty cool. I mean, we'll give it a shot.
Oh, yeah,
that's what we had that discussion last week about it.
Yeah, because I think Search was about ready to rip somebody's heads off there in ACW.
Oh, he was angry. He was angry last night.
It was a long night last night.
Oh, it was
for everybody.
Yeah, it was. And with me chatting out of there early, it was still a long night for me. But yeah, so like you said, it's been probably a long time coming. We'd probably just you never know when our days are going to be done inside the ring. But now as far as I know, I think Alan, I think you even told me last night that you guys don't even have your training facility anymore, or at least the ring anymore.
No, we sold all that a few weeks back.
So it's not like you're going to have like spare workout areas to train if you decide to come back for one more.
I told Andy, I go, we're going to do this. We'll just get rid of it all. That way you kind of keep the temptation away from you.
Yeah, we sold that all up to South Broadway. Bought that.
Yeah, South Broadway brought it all.
Okay.
So
hey, this point, money is money. Yeah, money is money, right? Yeah.
That was the ring we fought the Harris brothers in up in Chicago.
Oh wow!
But Broadway said they're opening a training center up, so they needed a ring for a training center and gym equipment. So it helped them out, and it got us some extra cash.
Yeah, they want to find a building because they don't have a place to train anymore. They used to down the street, but they don't have a place now, and they're got this now. Now they're going to find a building so their guys can train.
Yeah. I guess one of the thing here real quick is because I just thought about this, because one of my main things I like to do when I know that I'm going to be leaving the ring at some point is I want to leave it for the generations behind me to carry on. So in your opinions, is there a lot of good talent that you think that's going to help carry the tradition of professional wrestling more than sports entertainment? And do you guys feel good about the generations that you're leaving the business behind to?
I think so. I think there's always wrestling's always going to be there, and I think there's always going to be a few guys that go by the wayside, but there's always going to be them few that really want to do it. And I think it'll be set up. There'll always be somebody, and I think it's the future looks bright, and especially in the women's part. I think there's a lot more women getting into it now than there ever was.
Yeah, there's a lot of young guys out there like me and him and you, Rube, that really want to do it. That got this mindset like us. So they'll be coming up, and then there's them ones that, like we talked, won't listen. But like he said, there's a lot of women out there that are ready to do it.
Yeah, I mean, like so, women's wrestling has made quite a wave, at least in the past. I would say close to maybe 10 or 15 years. Definitely more this century than last century.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, so that's just going in places, and a lot of them are more better and even more competitive than some of the men are. So, yeah. So I mean, I know quite a handful of women wrestlers that are better than that the guys could ever wish they could be. So, but oh man, like I said, I appreciate you guys coming on. If you got any final thoughts, whatever, before we sign off from this portion, now's your time. And if you want to say one last thing,
I like that last night in the ring, how all the auctions, the banners was getting auctioned in the ring.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we just want to say one more thing. It's been a long time coming, but we just want to say thank to the fans, and the sport's going to carry on, and we had a hell of a ride with it, and no regrets. And just want to say thanks to everybody out there. We appreciate it.
It's been a long, good ride and a long road. And then last night was the end of the line tour. So it's been great with all the fans out there and working with all the guys and stuff out there.
And thanks, Rick, for working with you over the years too, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff over the years we put together, Rick.
Yeah, man, it's been quite a joy. I mean, at least to know how. I know when I came in, I was probably about half the size what I am now. But when I came in, but I mean, you've been following me throughout throughout my career, and we've been in the ring several times, and like I said, I'm glad that we've got a chance to have this time, and like I said, we don't forget, where we've came from, what we've done. And the examples that we set over these years, and you guys have basically you set a great example. I mean, obviously your resume, like I said before, speaks for itself. Multiple Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame, accolades, and just some great stories to take with you guys, memories to take with you guys that will stay with you for your lifetime. And just know that hey, what else would you rather be besides a professional wrestler? At least I couldn't think of
exactly
better. So, but no, man, I really thank you guys for coming on here and delighting us one last time. Like I said, hey, take a good break, but next time ACW does a show around either Saint Clair or Washington or whatever the case may be, I mean, yeah, I'm sure we'll see you down the road. Just to watch a show or just make an appearance and just delight the fans that come to ACW, man. So I'm sure you're always welcome to come around ACW, man, because you're legendary guys. You tell it like it is, but definitely got hearts of gold, and I appreciate you guys being here. And I know I'll be seeing you guys soon down the road, man. So I really appreciate you guys taking this time tonight.
One more thing, Rick. One more thing, brother. Lumberjacks for life, man.
Lumberjacks for life.
There we go. Lumberjacks for life. All right, guys, thank you very much, and we'll catch you down the road, okay?
All right. Thanks a lot, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Bye.
You guys have a good one. All right. So we're going to make sure that the dogs don't bark, and moving on. So that was fun, Z.
Yeah.
I totally didn't know about that whole unsolved mysteries thing, but
Well, that was a fun hidden red story that we never knew about. Well, you never knew about. Of course I didn't.
well, I didn't know anything about it. I mean, I knew about the whole the murder in the hotel room in Arkansas where they booked.
So
Wow.
I watched a couple of their matches before I came on here, like found some of their stuff.
Mhm.
They reminded me a lot of God dang it, the Mounties. But that's not a disrespect, man. Like that was that's one of the best. Wasn't the Mounties or who was the? Yeah, it was the Mounties, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know.
There was the Mountie, and then wasn't there a tag team? What was the tag team? The Canada tag team?
The Quebecers?
Thank you. Yes. That's
Okay.
who they reminded me of. The Quebecers. My bad. Not the Mountie.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the Quebecers. Okay. Well, let's see. Well, like I said, we've got several other things that we've got on the docket to talk about here tonight. Like I said, the Lumberjacks can only be with us for about. I think we actually
You
went
pushed
over.
them. You pushed them.
I know. Well, sometimes you get to talking, and hey, trust me, man. I mean, I'm going to have an early day too, because 5:45 comes way too soon. Yeah, so they were the Mount. Hey, according to the song, they were not the Mounties when they were the Quebec. We're not the Mounties.
That's
why. Oh my God! And for those who know that
That's
theme,
one of
I
my
hope
favorite tag teams.
yeah, and for those who know the theme, I hope it burns in your mind for at least the next day. So,
Well, anytime you like say something like that for me, it goes right to he's a man. So.
oh yeah, the real old man's man, Steven.
He's
Steven
a real man.
right. Yeah, that's right. They did have two song versions, like when Jacques Rougeau was just a Mountie, but then when PCO was before PCO, Pierre, he was the Quebecer. Together they're the Quebecers, and went taking the tag titles off the Steiners during the Quebecer rules match. So go figure. And Johnny Polo was the referee. So.
Who is Raven?
Yeah, who is Raven?
Dude, don't you love the wrestling wormholes that you can just go down? Like, I love it.
Sometimes it's worse than the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I swear.
Johnny Polo was an underrated gimmick. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And it really, if you watch his whole career, how it pendulums, like, because he was like the rich boy, right? And then when he became Raven, his daddy's hedge fund, and then like one of the best characters.
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, my nerdism.
Yeah. So I want to steal somebody's tagline to transition into our to just like a next topic here. And when I say, what do you want to talk about? Well, guess what? Let's kind of have a conversation about this, because I've seen some internet disgruntles post regarding this past week and even beyond that. But has Cody Rhodes lost his star power as currently now? Because it seems like people are liking Cody when he was throughout that long chase, but now that he's achieved it, it feels like, I mean, there's so many reasons I want to kind of get into this, but and overall here, Z, your thoughts on this? I mean, has it seemed a little bit? Has it been taken back some since he's won the undisputed WWE title at WrestleMania than when he was before chasing it?
Once again, I feel like even this is going to pan to like Solo, even in some sense, because this conversation. People hated on Solo because he doesn't feel like the Roman Reigns of the bloodline anymore. But Jacob Fatu was overshadowing him, all that kind of stuff. BS, bullshit. Okay, same thing with Cody. It's bullshit. People are over. I am somebody to sit here and I will clock in 100% for sidearm booking, right? And tear down the whole thing. But at the same time, you got to look at what is already being placed in front of us with what's going on. We just came off a huge title reign from Roman Reigns. Cody's going to, of course, have this low grade thing because, for one, who is the rightful people to go for the title right now? That's a big question for the SmackDown roster, in my opinion. Gunther's setting up opponents. Gunther has this whole list over there in Raw, but SmackDown really hasn't had that because they've been this intertwining feud between Randy, Kevin, the title, Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, Solo. So there's this huge overlay that Cody's in, this vortex. Like Jericho wants to talk about his vortex of Jericho, like Roman Reigns, the Bloodline. There's this huge vortex with all these people in this one storyline. And people don't realize how in-depth that storyline actually is. And so they're already negating Cody's title reign. For one, if they really wanted to go with it, Cody's final form is going to be the greatest bad guy of all time in professional wrestling. That's Cody's final form. And if you guys don't realize that, like, you're ridiculous. Because once it hits that gear where maybe he's getting the jealousy that Roman Reigns is getting more of the time, we've already seen hints at it, people. Stop, just let it grow. Just let it, it's being planted so beautifully. And the fact that Cody's paying homage to the past and saying names that should have been said on WWE TV long ago. He brought up Sam Muchnick, my dude.
Wrestling at the Chase. Yeah, he did that this past week.
No, like it's a beautiful thing of heritage, of lineage, of like people do not understand how good the Bloodline storyline is and the encompass of people that are in it. Exactly. And they're all intertwined. And if you go back and look at history and you dig deep, you'll realize how intertwined like the roads are with the bloodlines and all that kind of stuff. Like so many layers. Cody's not done yet. I don't think it's star power. I do believe, and I will say it, and others have said it on podcasts, Undertaker being one of them, that Cody Rhodes' final form legitimately is going to be the greatest bad guy. I truly believe we're going to see bad guy Cody Rhodes at one point down the line. And it's going to be like, holy cow, Roman Reigns who? When Roman was the bad guy.
Right.
And I think it'd be beautiful. So, no. Star Power's not gone yet. Cody's not even completed his tasks in professional wrestling. As we pay homage to one great tag team that walks off in the distance, Cody's literally still burning tread.
Wow. And here's what I wanted to say about with Cody Rhodes, because it's not just the whole thing about, because he was in the Chase that made him more popular and people drawn to him. Okay. Think about it. Roman at that time with the bloodline, like I said, he is the fourth longest reigning WWE champion in history on a single title reign. Okay. So he carried that for just under 4 years, probably about 3.5, something like that. Oh, or actually, he was just shy. But the whole thing is, Roman was a bad guy. He was a heel. Nobody wants it. Any typical or traditional wrestling fans that want good, that want to battle good versus evil. No one wants evil at the power. Okay, so Cody Rhodes being the babyface, just coming in fresh, taking that ride in still just under 2 years, and just adoring the fans. Cody panded to the fans. I think Cody panded to the fans just, well, I wouldn't say a little, probably just a little bit more than before he was champion. And I think there's a lot to do with that as far as how people were. Because people were getting tired of the bloodline, and then, bloodline doing people dirty at that time. And I think they just wanted to change because they got tired of Roman being champion. Well, Roman's no longer champion. And not only that, when Roman got dethroned, he rode off into the sunset for like the longest time. You didn't even see him. And so you got this whole Bloodline 2.0 now. And it's like now they're trying to build, they're trying to get to the level that of the original Bloodline was, which they still have work to do, in my opinion.
Oh, shush.
They do.
I'm joking.
They do.
But here's the end story: is Solo's not the one pulling the strings. Just remember that Solo is not the one pulling the strings
on the current Bloodline.
Yeah, it's The Rock.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's The Rock.
Yeah,
and I really hope, like, there's been fans that have been trying to like debunk that. And once again, I said fans because I'd be digging in those deep, dark waters of wrestling world. There's fans that actually think that Zilla is coming to WWE now. Because
you think he's not going to take that AEW offer?
Yeah, supposedly that's not the truth. That was a throw off. I don't. Once again, don't see too into it, but I want to see that happen because there is still Hikuleo has not debuted, and he did sign. So, like, where does Hikuleo land in this whole thing? Or does he go a different direction? Or, you know, is he going to be part of the bloodline? Because I think there's more, too. I think there's still more to the puzzle. And I'm telling you right now, the way they get Jay to join, now that we're off Cody for a minute, the way they get Jay to join is Sammy. Nobody can change my mind over that now. After what happened this week on Raw and SmackDown, bro, nobody can change my mind.
Man. Well, something that's going to merge between SmackDown and the Raw, and I guess we're going to talk about this for a little bit because we're just under 2 weeks from this happening. But we finally got to see the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, which, if it's smaller, it's not by much. It's not by much. But when you get a chance to look at the detail of the belt itself, it is pretty impressive. And maybe just the shape of the plates, some people just don't like, or for whatever other reason. But I'm almost thinking to say that this could be a championship, maybe. I mean, could it just be like an inaugural championship and they just having somebody win the title, and then they like you were saying weeks before, or like last week, that maybe they just defended that crown jewel. You know,
I'm still really confused by it because I feel like we're being set up by WWE for something like goofy dumb. The belts do look 10 times better than I thought. Like, I am actually pleasantly surprised, like, after taking a step back and looking at it. But my issue with it still is this. If I'm going to critique AEW in one way and think they have too many titles, this is just another thing that we don't need right now in WWE. But, hey, if it's just the one-time deal, whatever, I'm down with it being like a tournament thing, esh thing, because your champion's already decided. And bragging rights, I am a big component for. There's people that are like, oh, they're doing this. The draft don't mean anything anymore. The brand split doesn't mean anything. They're throwing it out the door. I'm a big fan of bragging rights. You and I've talked about this. You and I have spoken about this. Like, I would love to see a PLE that combats all of the three brands together. So once again, I said three brands because I think NXT deserves to be in that conversation 100%. So I would love to see a bragging right come about because of this potentially. So I'm going to hold out hope for that. But this just feels like another throwaway thing that WWE's done. And I'm just like, way to go. And my point is we'd be pooping on it if it was AEW. So
yeah.
Well, I question where it is.
Well, the thing is you know, I'm just hoping it's not going to be like another waste, like the greatest Royal Rumble. They just only had a one time.
That still irritates me. Now that I said it, you're like, damn it, he's fucking right. Like, I'm not saying that has to happen all the time, but I would have liked to seen that come back more often. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, we already had the title in play. Like,
Right.
like, you could have brought back fake Yokozuna or like all these things they did to get them like this great notoriety with the genre there, what they wanted, the prince in them. But like, we already had the title. We don't need this title. And by the way, to this there, Austin, I think you're wrong. I don't think Cody's winning this. I think Gunther's taking this 100%. Why would you not want Gunther to be your first guy to be like, ha ha, look at me? Like, it's not Cody. Cody needs to keep looking, in a sense, like his star power is lost. Like, there's so many things that's over-compassing him right now that I don't want to say this to be rude. The title doesn't mean as much right now. And it's not because of Cody. It's because of the whole compassing storyline that is happening on SmackDown. But I think because of that, the title's going to mean more here soon. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And like I said, they've only battled each other inside. Well, the most notable battles, I would say, is inside of the Royal Rumbles, the past two Royal Rumbles that they've had. Because remember, this past year, Gunther had broken the record for being in there the longest at like 72 some odd minutes, and was like the last one eliminated for Cody to win and move on to WrestleMania. Okay. So Gunther still needs his receipt from that. And I think that's a big play into what I believe as well, that Gunther will be the first men's crown jewel champion. Because it's way deserved. Let's just be honest. Sammy just had a emotional roller coaster night at WrestleMania, and he would have done anything and everything to get that Intercontinental Championship off of Gunther. Cody's fire is not as hot as Sammy's was trying to get that title off. So,
and it's going to play so beautifully into the storylines to come. It really is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be entertaining to see and watch, to see what happens. And that happens once again on Saturday, November 2nd at noon Central. So remember, it's in countries east of us. So they're going to be having, it's like what over there right now is probably like what, I don't know, like a 3:27, 4:27 a.m. I don't know. I forgot how far it is, but
I'm pretty impressed with your knowledge and their time zones there, buddy.
Trust me, it's something that has to do with work, and it's nothing to brag about. But anyway, if you know, you know. But no, I mean it's going to be one thing. I don't know what other cards have or what other events have led up to it, as far as like any other announced matches at this point. What they have also crowns, other than we could talk about the women's title now.
Dude, okay, so this is gonna upset Austin again and maybe upset you, but
oh, here we go. I know what's coming.
I am loving Nia Jax, bro. Like, this is the Nia Jax that I've wanted to see. Like, this is the lady that I wanted to see come to the table and do it. And Tiffany has been like one of the best instruments to this whole thing. And like, they really need to put that faction together. Tiffany, Pretty Deadly, because we got to see Pretty Deadly this week, which made me so happy. But that little group together, oh my God. Nia's killing it right now. She's getting out of her wheelhouse on things, and I personally think she's cleaned up her in-ring work, and I am proud to be like, I can't hate Nia right now. She's still Nia, of course, but like,
yeah,
I'm enjoying her character development.
Yeah, it's definitely something different, and it's something that honestly it does fit her, but that's going to be is there's going to be some factors in play. Now, I don't care what anybody says. Whoever Liv goes, Dirty
Raquel.
Dom's going to be, and
Well,
Dirty
and you got
Dom
Raquel.
doesn't have any qualms of putting his hands on a woman's wrestler to get an advantage in the match. So,
Dude, I can't wait to see Nia just throw Dom across the ring.
I honestly will laugh my ass off, bro. I will die. I will die. That's so.
Dude, I saw a sidearm booking about the Dom Liv stuff. Like, what if Dominic turns on Liv and helps Raquel in the end? And it's Raquel and Dom. And I'm like, damn it, now I kind of want to see that. But no, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be because you have Liv has Dominic and Raquel. Yes,
Right.
We have Nia with Tiff. But Tiff's the wild card because she has the money in the bank. Is she going to cash in on Liv like Nia said? Like, what if she cashes in and takes the
There's
one
many
title?
more elements in the women's match than there is the men's. It's
Can she cash in for the title and be the first crown jewel champion?
I think. Well, I don't think that would be such an interesting scenario. If both women are down and she cashes it in while both women are down and she makes it a triple threat.
Bro, this is yes. Like Dustin would say, could we do the triple threat and then? Holy cow!
Yeah, this
Ruby.
Yeah.
What a way to make a statement in Saudi, but to have the women's have the biggest story that plays out.
And I think it should, to be honest.
Dude, I'm actually hip for that. And Tiffany comes out with both belts. The SmackDown, does she cash in just on the SmackDown, or is it?
I think she would cash. Well,
whoever she pins in the match.
I don't think you can cash in on two belts, bro. It's one case.
No, there's something here to this. You're not hearing me right. There is money on that one. Once again, we just found another way that the Money in the Bank briefcase would be interestingly cashed in. Could you do it too, dude? I'm telling you, that would cement how huge this tournament, this little feud thing could be.
And what about with Tiffany calling herself the crown jewel of WWE because I cashed in? Yeah, maybe
it would make her the most like. And then Nia wants to annihilate, like, bro. I like the idea. I think Nia should come out with the champion personally. Nia is the one that I would agree with.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that would be. She fails to cash in, and then Nia wins.
Yeah.
And then Nia gets to just downgrade her to where, yes, you're onto something. You're onto something. I like that sidearm booking there, Austin.
Probably basically like Nia is going to treat Tiffany like the way she was treated by Alexa Bliss by like 7 years
I truly.
ago.
Here's the thing about Nia and Tiffany, and this is why I like this duo right now. And there's such a strong female force, in my opinion, in WWE. It reminds me of Michelle McCool and Layla. It's just a new aspect of their like dynamics, because Nia doesn't need Tiffany because she's, Nia Jax. And like Tiffany's like this kind of lead. It just has a different feel, but it reminds me of that duo and how good it was. I mean, there was some really not so cool things they did in that time frame, but how good that duo actually was as a villain duo. So like that's one of the reasons why I'm so down with it. But I was also a big Michelle McCool fan. So.
All right. Yeah.
Good job, Taker. High five to you, sir.
Oh man.
That's so in trouble. That's fine. I feel like we'd be friends.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, the Yeah, I think now the women's title, and I did check up on WWE.com. The two big main championship title matches are the only ones in play. Now so almost kind of leads me to believe to kind of talk about um our next topic here. So we're going to talk about it. So sorry, Cody, not sorry for taking kind of your tagline. No. So what's next for KO? So obviously, he's attacked Cody. He's attacked Randy. Now Randy wants him in the worst way, but now Kevin has given off. First off, guys, whoever's coming up with these whole freaking memes or whatever of KO getting signed with, he's going over to AEW. You guys are morons. Okay, I'm going to call you right now. If you know anything, Kevin Owens or Kevin Steen, I'm sorry, has been ultimately a prize for WWE in his past 10 years. The entire time he's been here. We're talking about the time when he debuted off the NXT roster for WWE pay-per-view, and his first match beats John Cena on a pay-per-view, and I think that was Backlash, I think.
Yeah, that was an awesome match.
So that was that. You can't forget his Universal title run and his little friendship he had with Jericho.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I mean, the guy is just a gem everywhere he goes. And let's not also forget, he's just had so many.
He's also the guy that got Stone Cold to come out of retirement.
And if Stone Cold does not come back ever, KO gave him probably the match to go out on, even if he doesn't come back. I mean, that's probably my most favorite match in WrestleMania 38. Not necessarily for Austin, but for KO and how it was supposed to be supposedly just a KO show, but he just called him out because he wanted to whoop his ass. And well, it didn't work, but what a match it was though. And in the post match celebration with McAfee and
yeah, awesome stuff.
God. Just some awesome stuff. So Kevin Owens is not going anywhere, okay? But now the thing is, this could be the answer to our question is as far as what is next for Cody, He's running out of people to kind of face. So after Gunther, Kevin Owens is coming after Cody again, but this time Kevin Owens has got to be a bad guy. He's got to be heel.
This is why Cody loses to Gunther too. Just so you know. That's 100% my prediction. KO is going to be the reason Cody doesn't win.
Yeah.
Somehow. Randy and him are going to... There's going to be a whole bigger story there. And it's beautiful. But KO, yeah. There's no... Supposedly, Little Duckies have said that he signed back at Bash of Berlin, actually, on a multi-year deal. And they just haven't said anything. But I don't care. I'm going to ride this ride. And to what Austin said here, the interview that he did at home and then the interview that he did in his car that they showed.
Car promos are great.
Dude, it's just funny to as a guy that's coming up through the business and learning, and we hear that, and then here's Kevin Owens showing everyone this is how you're supposed to do it if you're gonna do it. And it's just a really cool aspect. WWE's really going in on these different ways of presenting the product, and I hate that I'm going to mention him on this podcast, but I was listening to Russo and Coach and Austin and I talked about this. Yeah, and sometimes it's hard for me to listen to guys like those guys, and I still do because they have great knowledge to some extent, but they're mocking the way the Cody Rhodes Kevin Owens fight went down. You're going to tell me somebody recorded that, blah blah blah, some just fan recorded. I'm like, can you just stem disbelief and let it be what it is and just be that. Like, it was a fan that did that. Because WWE's really trying to show us a different aspect of the business, and I really am all for it.
Yeah. Well, what's another thing when you hear Russo, the only thing I've been hearing lately is in my head is the title's just a prop, bro.
Yes, that's why I didn't want to say that earlier, but like to an extent, yes, but to an extent, no. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, there's some thought behind it.
Yeah, like you can't disrespect what these men do in that ring like that and call yourself, well, whatever you think you call yourself, bro.
Whatever you think you call yourself, yeah.
Sometimes I realize how good I have it when I listen to him, like, because I'm just like, man, Cornette's right. You're an idiot. So,
well, like I said before, there's a couple other things we're going to talk about here before we get into, because our last thing we're going to talk about here is the last thing tonight is going to be for Bound for Glory, and let me see if I kind of get up to date here on at least with hey, what about the return of Nikita Lyons coming back and defeating Lola Vice and Miss Parker having something getting herself involved with that, distracting Lola.
I mean, that was the only thing good about that happened through that whole thing was Miss Parker hit. I'm not a fan of Lola Vice. I don't see the appeal of her. And Nikita Lyons, I feel like her train has left the train track. Like, I just wasn't impressed with her return. Like, I wasn't. But then again, she's with Lola Vice, so it's a match for me. Miss Parker was the best thing that happened to that whole segment. And as long as Miss Parker goes one over on Lola, I'm cool with it, whatever. But Miss Parker. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I love the picture they got on WWE right now on the results page where Nikita's about ready to give her a splash, to end the match, and Jada Parker's over here just laughing after just costing Lola the match pretty much.
I was more happy with the fact that like Mr. Chase made his return.
Yes, that's right. Andre Chase made his return. Yes, absolutely.
So I'm pretty pumped with that. But overall, good NXT. Good NXT.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he came back after Rich, putting the boots to Riley Osborne again. Rich,
Riley twice and
yeah,
Hudson once, right?
Yeah. Drew Hudson once. Yeah, so he's just having his fun with Chase U, and now Andre's coming in and hopefully get that big payoff.
Let's go, Mr. Chase.
That's right.
Hey, dude, I like the Saved by the Bell Chase U. I do. I'm a fan.
So, and then of course, let's not forget about All Ego again, though. Winning that number one contenders match to get back in line to get a shot back at Trick.
Too bad Trick's gonna steal it away from me.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. That was a good triple threat match though. Those three guys brought it. And Javon Evans, man, that kid's on a whole nother level.
Heck yeah, definitely so. I mean, yeah, he's something to watch and yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get to be more of a fan of his, but
because he's bouncy.
Yeah. So yeah, between him and Wesley, and then Ethan Page, well, All Ego's showing. I don't know. Kind of wondering when it's going to be. You think maybe Ethan Page's if things go well, he's probably headed towards the main roster in about a year. You would think.
I would. I would. I know how I would personally bring him in, but people would be like, "Oh no, that's just so stereotypical, Zach." But and yeah, I said I said my real name on it because I'm thinking like that. But him and the Miz, I think, are going to make money one day. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh yeah, shoot, yeah. We haven't even begun to talk about Miz and Truth again.
I'm curious on where that goes. I'm still, because it is now official that Miz is the target.
Oh yeah, with White 6.
White 6, yeah. So interesting stuff there. But I thoroughly can't wait for the possibility that could come if they put all ego with the Miz. Because where Miz lacked in-ring ability, ego makes up for with the charisma the Miz has. So I think that's a perfect like pairing to tutor in some sense to maybe make ego go to the next level that he deserves, because that's one of my favorite guys. Like I'm firmly behind Ethan Page. I will firmly always be behind Ethan Page, and I think that would be a great addition to his level of character. Alex Riley had potential to be something, and I think they could do what they wanted to do with Alex Riley and The Miz with Ego and Miz. And maybe a walking weapon, but that's just me pulling strings and
right.
wishing.
Yeah, you probably won't see anything like seeing Josh Alexander.
He has like 2 years, I think. 2 or 3 years. I think it's 2 years with TNA.
But about a 2-year contract? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's 2 years or 3 years. I can't remember what they said. I mean, never say never, man.
Right, in this business, you just don't know, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and then the other women's match. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of liking. I really am starting to like Ren St. Clair of the No Quarter Catch crew.
Love Ren, but I like the No Quarter Catch crew too. I think that's a fun dynamics with and Dempsey's mustache.
That dude's getting silly with that mustache.
Oh, I love it. I love it. His paranoia just cracks me. Like, I can't wait to see what they mold him into. Do we get the William Regal that we were supposed to get a long time ago? Because I would almost say Dempsey almost rivals his dad in the ring now. There's still a level to William that I don't think could ever maybe get past. But Dempsey showing the ability to match his dad, in my opinion, in the ring. So now if we can add the charisma that we saw in... dude, I'm telling you right now, William Regal as the GM and Dempsey as his son would be a fun dynamics to play with. So that's another one. Or like how maybe Dempsey loses himself in this and William has to come in to like get his son straight. You know, I don't know, but I would love to see those two work together for some reason.
No, I mean that would be that would definitely be something to watch. I would just like to see William Regal on TV again. That's what I would like to see.
Oh, facts.
Yeah,
facts.
Absolutely.
Him as a manager or a GM. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What? So like my other kind of curious question here is, when is Jay going to finally accept that the Bloodline 2.0 is not for him and
Sammy?
Yeah. So you think Sammy's going to join first, and then Jay might?
I think Solo and them are going to pinpoint Jay to where Jay loses IC title, but Jay still won't go back to Jimmy and them because of Roman. Doesn't care. Jimmy then goes to Sammy. Solo then attacks Sammy. Jay then goes, okay, Sammy, we need to go help. That's my personal feels about that whole thing. I still think the bridge is Sammy. Sammy has to be a part of it.
Man.
I think the wise man would agree with me.
You think so?
I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I don't think Jay just comes back. I really don't. I don't think that. Think about the emotion in the voice and tone that Jay had. And this is one thing that Jay does really well. And this is why you made the jab about Russo earlier, is because he said that he doesn't understand why Jay is getting so sentimental about winning the IC title when it's a prop, blah, 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 right? But
yeah,
Jay's put so much emotion into his character development in the last couple of years, and the way he carries himself, and that emotion connects with people, and they feed on that. So that promo that Jay did when he left the Bloodline, and he super kicked Jimmy, and super kicked Roman Reigns, all that stuff, that goes to the wayside if Jay just jumps back on because Jimmy and Roman asked. It's going to have to be something to where, Sammy was my brother, part of the Bloodline, and if he's not going to be part of the Bloodline, I'm not going to be part of the Bloodline, kind of thing. Like, there has to be that other piece to the puzzle.
All right.
I mean, I can see it being Cody, but like Cody talks him into coming back, but I'm putting my money on Sammy because I still think Cody's getting pulled away. Whatever happens after that, but Cody's getting pulled away, and it's going to be 2.0 versus OG.
Yeah, they're going to have to start making strides quick if they're going to get in before War Games.
I mean, they can still, in a sense, get it in by War Games, potentially.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel it going. And then if, wherever, I mean, my hope in my heart is that Zilla comes to WWE, but Booker T made mention that he's trying all his power to get Zilla in WWE. There's other people, there's just things that have been mentioned that has fans going, wait a minute, is Zilla actually going to AEW, or was it a ploy to kind of throw us off a smoke screen, and he's going a different way? I don't know, but I'm very intrigued with the Bloodline storyline, 100%.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you good.
Yeah, it's funny how I had to deal with situations here. And, okay. Better than not say anything. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, I got people texting me while I'm trying to get something done here, and let's just say I've had enough of that. I'm good for now.
I would have to say, since we've gone over NXT a little bit, the one thing about AEW that I want to touch on is, like, I'm very curious on where they're going with this Jon Moxley BCC thing, because Pac had a case the whole time. That was it. We did not see the AEW World Heavyweight title the whole time, and they came in and just wrecked house and left again. Although the promo that he did while they're on the back of the pickup truck coming into so they opened the show with them in a pickup truck, and Moxley's giving a promo as they're driving into. This is funny. Why is everybody doing car promos now? But he's in the back giving the promo as they're driving in. That was kind of a BA promo. Like, that was that was a hard way to start AEW, and I liked that. That was good stuff there, guys. But that's the really big takeaway from Dynamite, in my opinion.
Yeah. So hold on one second. Yeah,
Adam Cole,
I'm sorry. I mean, I had a lot going on this week. I do apologize. I didn't catch much of AEW. The only thing I was just kind of wondering is what does Brian Danielson go from there, because he's supposedly not supposed to wrestle full time, but he doesn't completely hang up the boots. He got he's I guess he's just gonna leave the whole part-time thing out there to wrestle whenever he they need it or if it's needed at all. So, um, so yeah, I'll try to see what I can do to catch up more here this week. But
Oh, you're good. I was just touching on it.
yeah, I know. But I mean,
I
otherwise,
didn't watch TNA this week, so don't feel bad.
actually, no, I did try to start watch Dynamite. I just remembered, but at the time I flipped to it, then I turned it off because it was that one advertised match
Yeah, I
with a
skipped
certain
that one.
with a certain female I don't care for, and so I'm like, nope, I ain't watching this. So
I skipped it.
I caught it live. I'm like, ugh, okay. So I just improved ratings. Okay, so I guess right now what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and talk about the TNA Bound for Glory preview here because what a card we got lined up for TNA for real. This is God 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. So we got 8 scheduled matches along with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So that's going to be quite interesting on that. So obviously that's going on. But what about another chance here for the TNA? Oh wait, so the TNA Hall of Fame is they're going to have that as well, and apparently Rhino is getting inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
So yeah, so that's and then also Bob Ryder is also going in. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Bob Ryder unless if I read up on Bob Ryder. So my apologies. But hey, coming to you from Motown this Saturday. That's right, Rough Cut Rick Ruby territory in Detroit, Michigan. Which, by the way, the Lions won today. Thank you. Beat the Vikings. No longer undefeated Minnesota Vikings. So now I think they're tied for first in their division. I think NFC North, I believe, is where they're at. So,
dude, this is a stacked card.
Yeah. What about let's kick out with the TNA Knockouts World Title Championship because we have a chance not only to make history for changing championships, but remember Spitfire is defending the titles against Rosemary and Wendy Chu from NXT. So technically, we could have the first NXT wrestler.
I say pull the trigger.
Why not? Because then.
But you and I have been pumping for it.
And we've been kind of wondering when's going to be the first NXT wrestler to get a hold of a TNA title. This technically is the chance here.
When anyone like from NXT or TNA is going to get a title like from the other company, I think I love this duo of Rosemary and Wendy Chu. So I'm all for this faction. I'm also just a big fan of Rosemary. So,
and then of course we got the grudge match between Moose and Mike Santana.
Can't wait for that match.
That's going to be pretty good. And another good grudge match. Josh Alex, of course, the Walking Weapon versus Steve Macklin. Well, first of all, we're kind of going through these here. Let's kind of see about picking some winners here. Or at least who do we like to have win?
Rosemary, Wendy Chu.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I know Spitfire just got the titles back at what was it?
Whatever their last pay-per-view was.
The previous pay-per-view, which for the life of me I cannot remember.
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
It was right after.
Didn't it start with an R?
No, it was after Emergence, and I don't know.
Don't think too hard.
It was not Emergence. It was the one after that, and God, Lord, I can't remember for the life of me. But we'll figure it out. Okay, thank you. What do you got between Moose and Mike Santana?
See, I'm still. It's hard for me to. I'm going Santana. I'm going Santana. I'm Moose has grown on me. Austin and them are big fans of Moose, and I never really understood the hype of Moose, but I'm understanding it and getting behind it with the system. But I'm still a Santana fan. Mike Santana all the way.
I don't know. I would still say that Moose is probably going to use the system to get over. Oh, it was Victory Road, bro. Victory Road was.
My bad.
We even had a special on it. I even put an advertisement on it.
We did a whole breakdown of the show too.
Yeah, I was there that day, right? I was there for the show, right? But yeah, so
I think it's time for Mike to get one over. The only way he's been getting over with them is like in mixed tags and stuff.
yeah, very true.
He's taken a lot of punishment. I'm all for it and whatever. If Moose gets it, the dude has been putting out some clean matches in my opinion, and has kind of swayed me in his direction of being a guy like, oh, okay, I can watch a Moose match and not be like, oh, is it over with yet?
Is it over with?
But
yeah,
I've always been LAX was one of my favorite tag teams. Santana, Ortiz, I don't want to say the other one, but
yeah,
Homicide. So I just enjoyed him. I want him to win finally, get some real digits behind him.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, if he could pull it out, I mean, if anybody could pull it out against the system, I got Mike Santana has been having. He came in on Impact last Thursday and just clean clocked. I mean, he came in with a chain and just clocked everybody. He clicked.
Yeah.
I mean, So I don't know. I mean, does he have receipts coming during this match? We just don't know. Until it happens, but we'll see. Maybe Mike Santana can't pull it out, but I'm not too sure about the system. Trying to get the receipt on to help Moose out. So who knows?
I mean, they got their hands full with ABC and the Hardys in that Full Metal Mayhem match.
All right, yeah. So that Full Metal Mayhem here. Here's what I like to have not win.
The Hardys.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, why not? I mean, I guess kind of make it full circle.
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot for TNA, and I would like to see them maybe have their one last run there. I don't know. The Hardy Boys as a duo were a great tag team. I just never, I was a fan of the Hardy Boys as a tag team. It was separately that I disliked one and liked the other one over. So to see them get some nostalgia back, I'm cool with it for a little bit. But nobody really, I think the system keeps them, personally.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe ABC, but I don't see the Hardys.
No, I don't see ABC getting them. So
you're going System or Hardys?
It's going to be System or the Hardys. I think
I'm going System. You pick.
I'm
going to stay with the System.
Yeah, I think System probably should. Yeah, I think somehow the Hardys are not gonna find a way to get past that. So.
I mean, mad respect to Jeff for putting that dope Fiend paint up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean that was dope. More than
I still wish we could have got broken Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy with Bray Wyatt. That stuff would have been phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been.
Oh
great.
my god, they missed.
Yeah.
Super.
So what about the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, Steve Macklin?
You got to enjoy Steve Macklin's heroism and coming to this fight, but there's no way I'm going to bet against the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. No way.
No. I think I'm with you on this one, my friend. I don't see Macklin getting past him. So, yeah. So Josh Alexander, I believe, is going to be victorious in this match. Let's start talking about some other title matches here, like the Well, this is the Monsters Ball match, and this may be
It's for the digital media
Digital
title.
Media and International Wrestling Championships.
Correct.
So PCO defends against Matt Cardona. Monsters Ball match. This
I'm gonna say Cardona goes over.
you think so?
Yeah. And I think there's gonna be shenanigans.
Of course. Why wouldn't they be when
Right.
it comes to Cardona?
This is gonna be brutal though.
I definitely think so too. It's going to be definitely going to be one to be talked about. And then of course the X Division title now was Speedball Mike Bailey defending against Vikingo.
I love Vikingo, but Bailey goes over. Vikingo's reckless though.
He is. He looks reckless. If anybody can handle him, though, I think it's Speedball. But I do.
That dude is like on a different level when it comes to luchador. Like take Rey Mysterio and Amazing Red and fuse them into one little crazy. Add Super Crazy to it, and that's this
Lord.
guy. The dude just takes, and he's good. He's good. Like I can't. But god dang, he has me on the edge of my seat 9 times out of 10, and not in a good way. Like,
Not in a good way.
I'm afraid for him, man.
Yeah.
But he's whatever, man. It's how you want to live. I ain't gonna disrespect your way. That's gonna be a sleeper match. I'm saying that right now.
No. Yeah, I mean that's. Yeah, so that's one that's going to put him on the map, and well, it's going to be a true X Division title match. So
Yeah, like this match reeks X Division because Mike Bailey can go with anybody.
all right.
But Vikingo, he's on that dude's on a different level
Yeah,
when it comes to speed and stuff.
absolutely. Then we got our last two matches for the main championships. So the Knockouts World Title, Jordan Grace defending against Masha Slamovich.
Um,
I really kind of want Slamovich to win. I don't know why.
I think Masha should. I think Masha is. I think at some point she's putting things off to the side. It's business when it comes to this match. But I think somehow Masha is going. She may be knocking off Jordan Grace as the title holder.
I mean, I ultimately I'm not mad if Jordan wins.
Oh no, not at all.
But I don't know. I want to see. I don't know. I think like this defuse of Grace's power would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting. And I don't know. I thought maybe Jordan Grace also was probably maybe isn't her contract coming up due?
There's been hints about it, but I'm trying not to put too much like thought into that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I get
Like,
you.
Because you never know. She has a good thing in TNA. Why not just re-sign him and make some paychecks? Like, they're doing pretty good business right now and making strides. So she can keep making history, or does she go with another company where she's then working her way back through the shuffle? What's the good? Do I think there's big opportunities for her possibly going elsewhere? Yes, 100%. But right now, I think with TNA's resurgence and how well they're doing on the resurgence, their partnership with WWE, I don't think her time in TNA actually is up yet. I think she has a lot to offer that roster of women still. And this really could play. I'm telling you, like this, because she made the call out to Slamovich, saying like, "You have the kill wall back up. Am I a target? Do you want a shot? Okay, let's go." So like, she's putting her chips all on the table, and I don't know, to see that deflate where Slamovich gets it over and maybe like takes down the kill wall. I don't know much about the kill wall, but I've looked back into Slamovich's stuff. I'm kind of wanting to see more out of these two, so I'm curious how this match plays out.
Absolutely. Then let's kind of talk about
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe too.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
So, what?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Okay.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I don't care what anyone says. I mean, the internet around is like, "Oh, Joe Hendry's falling off the map." Oh, shut up. Joe Hendry's still great down there in TNA. Still awesome. Nick Nemeth and him are going to have a spectacular match. Hopefully that goof, and AJ Roberts, I don't care if you hear this or not, because I'm going to say it, that goof Frankie Kazarian doesn't get in the way. Like, King of TNA, my butt crack, man. AJ Styles in WWE, that's the King of TNA. He's the one that just didn't go anywhere. Yeah, I'm not a Frankie Kazarian fan, so like him being,
yeah, I don't know what I don't know how good of a move that was, putting him as special guest ref. You know,
I'm curious to see where they go. I kind of enjoy the fact that he has like the bad like 70s suits. Have you noticed that? Like with his like,
yeah.
So like he's in those bad 80s and 70s suits that were just like, what is this? And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, he can be the king. He was only good when he was manic. I'll say it day in and day out. When he was that short spin as manic, that was his best thing. Because he didn't talk, and there wasn't much of a character. All he did was this.
Oh yeah.
Suicide. Oh wait, he wasn't manic. He was suicide. My bad.
Right. Oh right. Yeah. Yeah. The whole mask gimmick was suicide. Yeah, I like to believe in Joe Hendry too.
I think Nick Nemeth is actually winning this.
I think so too.
I just want to believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh, I do too.
But in 4 months, we'll show you how relevant he is still.
Oh yeah, I mean he's still going to be relevant no matter what. So, in fact, yeah, people are still calling the shot that he's going to show up in the Royal Rumble. So
that is definitely a big rumor. That is a big one.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot.
When you said that he's going to show up in the Rumble, like now I want to see is like a stare down between him and Kevin Nash. I don't know why that was a thing, but like I'm talking about old school '90s Kevin Nash, the one that still had decent knees.
Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Yeah, the one that had decent knees. Right. Oh no. So. Yeah, I like to think of Joe. I mean, to me, Joe Hendry is definitely a whether carry a company, especially like TNA. I believe.
Oh, he's a treasure, man.
Yeah, so he's definitely a treasure. But Nick Nemeth is just so good, though. I mean, as a performer,
dude's a monster.
It's just like. You gotta choose. You gotta choose one of the best.
Hands down, one of the best sellers too. Like that man can make any move look so devastating. Like you question if he got kicked or something. Like the bro kicks that he took. That dude was eating that foot. That dude was eating that foot every time. And the way he just. Because he had like that oversell but not oversell.
Right.
Nick Nemeth is one of the best. And to think he started in the Spirit Squad. He was a cheerleader. True story. Necky!
Wow.
He's come a long way.
He has. Oh yeah, he has. In fact, if we go even far back, there was a clip back in the 2004 Royal Rumble.
Oh,
I think he was the guy that introduced Ernest the Cat Miller when he was dancing in the Rumble.
I think
So,
you're right. He was also the caddy to
oh yeah,
Ernest
Curlin.
Curlin White.
Nothing like it. Nothing like a Hispanic playing a white man's gimmick. So,
Dude, that man has been through some of like the goofiest stuff and it's come out on top, man. Nick Nemeth deserves a round of applause and his flowers because one of the best performers, hands down, in professional wrestling.
yeah, absolutely. So shoot, I'm just trying. Yeah. So that Bound for Glory is this coming
Saturday, the
Saturday.
26th.
Yeah, and I do believe the time starts at. Well, what time does it start? I'm assuming 7 o'clock.
Hold on.
I don't know. Let's see if you watch on TNA Plus. Let's see. No, it just tells you how much you can get. So
It doesn't say what time.
no, it does. Oh no, 8 p.m. Eastern.
See, it told you what time it was.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. So that's where that's at. And you gotta excuse me. I'm usually a little bit more focused and a little bit more driven this week. But like I said, my day did not end yesterday till 2:30 in the morning, and that's from getting the kid from a band competition, and then having broken sleep, and then trying to get up and do like a long day. Get this all prepared for all you great folks that watch us every week, and
And we thank you.
and yeah, and now I'm like, I feel I feel like I just want to just lay over and just
Ooh, that one slipped out.
yeah, you can't be doing that to me, man, because I'm trying to fight it. I'm not doing
my
it myself.
bad. My
But
bad.
that's all. No, that's all right. It's all good though.
Man, thanks again to the Lumberjacks for coming on here for the 40 minutes that they did because it's always nice to listen to some stories, some history, and get some insight from some great veterans of the past as they hang up their boots and we progress forward. So thank you for those two gentlemen.
Yeah. Hey guys, also want to give you some updates here. Also, before I give the updates, I was wearing our Falls Count Everywhere shirt around the venue yesterday, and I've got a lot of oohs, and I got a good number of oohs and ahs of like, oh man, I really dig that shirt, man. And I'm like, well, I ran even behind yesterday. I didn't even bring my merch with me, and I couldn't even grab like a cash purse. So
But we do have this great handy link.
yeah, so actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, guys. So that QR code, we've updated our link tree, and that link tree now has links to the Falls Count Everywhere T-shirt, and also the We Talk Wrestling Prairie Dog shirt that you can get.
It should go right to everything.
Yeah, it'll go right. It will go right to the item. So that has been updated here. I've actually tried to see what we can do to get on and try to find a different provider to also add to our streaming platforms on a weekly basis. I actually did check into Rumble. I have it posted, but apparently you can't stream on a free plan with Rumble, and you have to have at least 5 followers. And I don't know if anybody on Rumble is going to want to follow. I don't know
So
anybody
if you're
on
on Rumble,
yeah,
and you're hearing us through Facebook, go add us
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry you can't go there. I don't know. It's just that some of the platforms that we get offered to go to, it's like, I don't know, like, was it Vimeo or like, I don't know, Daily Motion? And it's like,
I have no idea.
man, it's like, how do you start that? I don't know. So, like I said, anything this week besides Bound for Glory, I don't know what's coming up on Raw or SmackDown. I know on Raw, that Seth and Bronson are going to have a face-off.
That's me fun.
Yeah, that should be fun. We'll have to see uh, about Miz and our truth on that. We're probably going to see another, or we're going to see Cody Rhodes and Gunther coming face to face.
Yeah, I think that. No, that's SmackDown.
Oh, that's SmackDown. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
And who knows? Will Braun Breaker come back up to kind of hunt down for Jay again, or like I said, there's just a lot of happening things that are happening with Raw, and of course also with SmackDown. NXT, this upcoming week. Well, we'll see if Ethan Page calls out Trick Williams. Isn't Halloween Havoc supposed to start soon? On NXT, I'll have to take a look.
It's next week or the week? It's the week after, right? I think it's the week of Halloween.
Oh,
isn't it?
Let's see.
I think it is the 30th, or not the 30th, the 29th.
Well, it's 29th. Okay. That would make sense though, but I kind of wish that was kind of made back into a pay-per-view again, but that's just me,
Yeah, it's one of their like week. I think it's become like one of their weekly things where they do it over 2 weeks, or whatever.
Right. All right. Well, yeah. So, like I said, we got a big week of wrestling here. Myself, I'm actually going to be taking a week off from doing a show. I mean, not a wrestling show, but we'll be back here next week because you can't remember. Next week here, guys, remember it's episode number 166 with Royce Adams. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
So he'll be our guest next week, and we'll get some more insight here on another great guest, second generation wrestler. Of course, his father is the late and ever so popular Crush, who made his name with the tag team Chronic and WCW, of course, Nation of Domination, and then of course also just his own dominant self in the earlier WWF days with Kona Crush and all that. So that'll be interesting. And
you should take us off the screen. But hey, whatever.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it. It's like, hey, you guys don't need to see us.
Sit down, DDP.
Yeah. We're going to pull a Cena. You can hear us, but you can't see us. So.
Sometimes it's the best.
Yeah, I know, right? So, any big plans heading your way this weekend? This week?
Not that I know of. Just been dealing with family stuff, and yeah. It's been crazy here, but we're doing.
Yeah, enjoying that stay-at-home dad lifestyle, and telling the kids to do things, and must be fun.
The laundry situation, the taking care of 6 people and doing laundry, I fold like 3 baskets a day, and I make the kids fold the basket, and then they're still clothes. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how these kids just keep pulling clothes out, and then they're like, I don't have nothing to wear. And I'm like, it's all on the freaking floor. You didn't even put it away, man.
Oh boy, have I not been there times myself. So I totally get it.
Well, I still have. See, there's that whole joke that women have. Oh, whatever kids they have, they multiply by 1, right? Add one more because they're husbands or they're. Man, that's the most. My wife has a bigger kid. Like, I have to deal with her too, and make sure she's got everything lined up. Her lunch is taken care of. Her, 5 people.
There you go.
Grocery shop. Man, she bought Q-tips online because she didn't want to go to the grocery store because Chase asked for Q-tips. What the hell? You could have gave me a list. I don't know if we got Q-tips real quick.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Order Q-tips online. Yeah. It's cool.
No, it's been crazy, and I did get to hang out with my son this week. That was pretty fun. So
there you go.
Him and I went to Springfield. Went to some Darcy's Pint. Had us some pony shoes. And if you haven't been to Darcy's Pint and you live in the Midwest area, you're missing out on some great Irish cuisine.
Oh, wow. Irish cuisine.
Springfield, Illinois. Darcy's Pint.
Oh, okay.
100%. One of my favorite places to eat. I mean, it's a lot of people's favorite places, but...
Ooh, well, yeah. So we're just, I guess we're just going to take this week easy as possible, and then we're going to come back at you full force with episode number 166 next week with Royce Adams, and then of course we've got some other things coming up here for you too in the weeks to come. But I would just say at this point, we've done a lot of talking. We've had a lot going on this week. I've had a long weekend. I don't know when to take it easy on the day off, if I ever get a day off, but you know, but hey, but we just do it all. We all do it here for the joy, and all of you love it. So, so my final words are, I'm just gonna try to rest what I can and come back and bring the best to you next week, because I'm looking forward to Royce Adams.
Hey, I am too. I can't wait to be my mouthy Seth next week for you.
There you go. So we're going to try and get some more rest here. Like I said, I'm going to have my mother's birthday celebrations on Saturday, so we're going to take it easy there and, you know, enjoy some time with mom and, you know, just, make some more memories, you know. Live your life, make memories you're going to love and cherish. So
thanks for joining us, guys.
Yep. So thanks for joining us this week. So for the Gem City Mouth, I am Rough Cuck Rick Ruby. We will see you next week for episode number 166. Same time, same channel. And yeah, man. Definitely enjoyed the Lumberjacks this week. Enjoyed all of you tuning in and watching with your comment. So until then, we'll see you next week, guys. Have a good night. Take care. See you next Sunday. Have a good one, guys.